big tech crackdown. President Trump slamming Google and its CEO amid allegations of anti-conservative bias. The president says the administration is watching Google very closely. Back in June, I spoke with the president about legislating big technology like Google and Twitter. Watch this.
Twitter is just terrible what they do. They don't let you get the word. I've had so many people come to me, sir, I can't join you on Twitter. I see what's happening, 100%.
So would you rather see competition or do you want to see legislation coming down to actually...
Well, you may need legislation in order to create competition.
Joining me right now is Hawaii Congresswoman, 2020 Democratic presidential candidate, Tulsi Gabbard. Congresswoman, it is good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you on all of your success. You are suing Google right now for $50 million. Tell me what happened.
During the first debate and the hours that came after it, we were prepared with all of our Google ads. We were the most searched candidate and campaign of the night when all of a sudden our Google ad account was shut down without any clear kind of explanation or how to get it back up. And it was later reinstated after that critical window had closed, again, without any real explanation. So we're suing Google really because of the power that these big tech monopolies have over influencing our public discourse, our freedom of speech, and really ultimately our fair elections. Because if they can do this to me as a sitting member of Congress, running for the highest office of the land, this means they can do it to anyone running for office at any level in this country or any person if they don't like what you're saying. And this is really not about me. It's really about the American people and about standing up for and protecting our freedom of speech. Whether we agree or disagree with that speech, this goes to the core and founding principles of our country. And they shouldn't have the power to be able to do that.
So what's the answer here? Because this is an issue, I think, that brings together both sides. You've got people like Elizabeth Warren and Ted Cruz wanting a breakup of some of these companies. And you see the president, obviously, is also saying that he's watching Google closely. These companies have more power today than they ever had. What do you want to see? How is this going to change?
88% of all internet searches in the United States take place in Google.
That's right.
92% in the world. So when you look at a monopoly like Google having total control of what pops up when you search for something, this is what we're talking about. So I think there's two approaches that we need to take. One is to break up these big tech monopolies, because that's exactly what they are, and also look legislatively at what kind of transparency, oversight, and accountability is put in place to make sure that there is not an infringement on our freedom of speech and to make sure things are fair and transparent.
There's also a movement, an upset about Google not working with the Pentagon because of the immigration policies and instead choosing to work with China and inadvertently helping the Chinese military. This is what Peter Thiel has been saying as well. Your thoughts on that? Because it's more than just censoring people's opinions on things. It's also privacy breaches and this China situation.
Yeah. Look, I think it's important for us from our government and from our regulatory standpoint is to look at what's in the best interest of the American people, making sure that we're protecting those freedoms and our civil liberties that are enshrined in our Constitution, and looking and making sure that our decisions are being made with our national security in the forefront.
Would you like to see legislation around this?
I would.
Okay. A new Quinnipiac poll is out. It shows Joe Biden leading nationally among 2020 Democrats. We've got Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders following. You're polling at 1% along with Julian Castro and Amy Klobuchar. 10% of voters are still undecided. What are you going to do about this? How are you going to continue to resonate? You met your fundraising goals, right? I mean, in order to get on that stage the next time, where are you?
Well, we can see how impactful these debates can be. And this is why it's important, and we're continuing to build our support. We've gone way past the donor requirement, which is 130,000 individual donors to qualify for the next round of debates. And we're looking forward to the next round of polls that we hope to be able to meet that polling threshold as well. But really what this comes down to is the work we are doing every day to reach out to voters, directly to voters across this country, let them know who I am, why I'm running for president, and why I'm the best qualified to serve them as president and commander-in-chief.
And why are you?
Because of the experience that I bring. You know, as a soldier, I've served now for over 16 years in the Army National Guard. I've deployed twice to the Middle East, and for nearly 7 years in Congress have been very focused on national security in serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services Committee, and Homeland Security Committees, understanding the cost of war, the toll that it takes on our service members and their families, and the toll that it takes on every single American in this country. When we look at the over $6 trillion taxpayer dollars that we've spent on these wasteful regime change wars since 9/11 alone, dollars that should have been and should be used in meeting the needs of the American people here at home.
So you want to take the troops, obviously, back from Afghanistan?
I want to bring our troops home from Afghanistan. It should have happened long ago. Right now in Afghanistan, we are spending $4 billion every month. $4 billion. And when you look at folks in communities across the country who don't even have clean water to drink, when you look at the infrastructure needs in our country, when you look at the lack of affordable housing, there are so many things that we need to address. We've got to get our priorities straight and make sure that we are using our military for the function that they intend, which is to keep the American people safe, and investing our limited resources into empowering and serving the needs of our people.
You talk about all of the things that Americans need, and yet when the Dems, including yourself, were on that stage and asked a question, are you willing to give health care to illegals, you raised your hand?
I did not.
You did
I did not. I think it's important that we that we fix our immigration system. I do support making sure that we've got quality health care for everyone who needs it, regardless of whether they're rich or whether they're poor. We should also make sure that we have a private insurance option for those who choose to pursue that. But rather than putting a Band-Aid on all of these different immigration challenges we're facing, we need to fix our immigration system, pass comprehensive immigration reform so that we don't have over 10 million undocumented people who are living in the shadows in this country.
These are the kinds of things that differentiate you from the others on that stage. The fact that you understand that Americans should come first in terms of health care as opposed to illegals. What do you want to do with that immigration?
I think that we should.
These are the issues you think that are going to get you to that 2% threshold.
I think it's a matter of looking at what's in the best interest of the people in this country and reforming the broken laws that we have, including immigration laws, that are a disservice across the board. It's a disservice to people who are trying to seek asylum in this country, and it's a disservice to the American people and those who are trying to come into our country legally. It's impacting our economy. There's a huge impact on our borders with inhumane conditions there. So we have to make sure that we are living up to the values that we represent, which is having a safe and secure border, while having humane immigration policies that best serve our country.
So why is it that you and your colleagues in Congress have been unable to fix the loopholes? I mean, this is the issue that is bringing all of these people from Central America to the border. We took the show to the border. It was incredible. The children that I witnessed coming over the border alone, they couldn't find their mother. So many stories I can go on. What do you want to do about those loopholes, the Flores Agreement, the asylum standards? How come Congress has not been able to change these?
It comes down to partisanship. That's the bottom line. People who are putting their own political interests ahead of the interests of the people and ahead of the interests of really bringing about solutions to these challenges that we've faced for a long time and that are only getting worse because of that inaction. I've worked in a bipartisan way on many different issues in Congress. There's great opportunity there. We need strong leaderships willing to put people ahead of party so we can get the job done.
For a long time, Nancy Pelosi and many of your colleagues on the left were saying it's not a crisis. It was a manufactured crisis. Now they're obviously seeing that that's a different story. In fact, I think after our border trip and what we witnessed while we were live on the air, there was a pivot. I think that the tone changed because it was so obvious. But why? I mean, you see it as a crisis, correct?
I do. I have. Again, I think this is important for us to move past the partisan politics and for us to come together as a country to say we need to solve this problem, both for what's happening at the border, but also what is driving these people to walk thousands of miles to leave their homes, put their lives and their children's lives at risk, and reform our entire immigration system.
You've got a great grip on the issues at hand and what's important to the American people, but you've got to be here. You are hosting a town hall in New Hampshire today.
Yes.
Then you're set to take 2 weeks off to serve in the National Guard. Are you worried that you're going to be out of the loop? You've got to be in the faces and, you know, in people's faces to resonate, to make sure they understand where you stand on these issues.
I'm grateful to have the privilege of being able to serve our country. So I'm not putting anything aside to be able to go and serve my country. I will continue that service as I am on this campaign. This time it's going to be in uniform for a couple of weeks.
Well, thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you.
We all appreciate it. I know in this building and our viewers as well. You tweeted about Kamala Harris yesterday. I want to ask you about that, takedown, if you will, on the debate stage. Kamala's entire campaign is based on a lie. You wrote that as the AG of California, she was a fighter for the oppressed and for criminal justice reform, but her criminal justice record shows that her policies exemplified the worst aspects of our criminal justice system. The two of you had that heated back and forth during the last debate. Tell me what you want people to understand about Kamala Harris.
This comes down to leadership. What kind of leadership would she bring, and what kind of leader was she as Attorney General in California, and is pointing to the truth and the facts. She claims to be very proud of the record that she had as the Attorney General in California. I pointed out some of the huge problems with the kind of leadership that she brought, where she claims to be a champion for the people, but instead made decisions that caused more harm, hardship, and suffering for people in California. And I gave some of those examples in the debate. She needs to answer to the American people on these facts.
Congresswoman, it's great to have you this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Tulsi Gabbard joining us there.